Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we like to begin this lesson by giving all praise, all glory, and all honor unto Yahweh,
Basham Yahushai, Basham Rakah Kadash.
giving double honors, double unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, surely do rule well. And as always, we like to say Shalom unto the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Alright, a couple of brothers here gathered together from the heroes of Yahushai camp, brother. I'm the brother Marshall. Come out today to do another bit of edification. You know, Lord's willing, this lesson is edifying. Based on the word of the day, June 19th, 2026. The word being indomitable. What it means?
The word of the day, June 19, 2026, indomitable. What it means, indomitable, is a formal word used to describe something that is impossible to defeat or discourage.
Ooh, and we don't know who that is. That's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? Cannot defeat Yahweh or Yahushai. And you can't discourage him neither. And we're going to bring out the biblical perspective to prove this. If we could read the examples.
Juneteenth celebrates the abolition toward of slavery in the United States and honors the indomitable spirit of African Americans, past and present, fighting for justice, liberation, and the fulfillment of this nation's ideals.
Okay.
Did you know African Americans in this
I
instance?
didn't ask you to break that shit down. That's just examples.
Yeah, I know why. Yeah, you gotta say it. African Americans in this instance is Israelites.
Right. Oh, right. Oh, I thought you were going to go into a breakdown there.
No, not that time. See, and three examples. Genius' legendary NBA career, Michael Jordan was renowned not only for his athleticism and skill, but also for his indomitable will to win.
Right.
Chicago Tribune, 1st April 2026. Did you know? At 5 punchy syllables, indomitable is an imposing word, so it's inevitable that some are perplexed by the synonym for impregnable. I say that word correct, right?
Impregnable,
yeah. But it is not so tough once you break it into parts. So that the prefix in spells im before b, m, and p means not. In an innumerable collection of English words, how many have you counted so far? The common suffix able means capable of, fit for, or worthy. Combine those two English affixes with the Latin verb domitere, to tame, and viola, indomitable. Indomitable was first used in English as a synonym for wild, describing approximately enough things that
not viola. And voila.
Voila, Tawara, indomitable. Indomitable was first used in English as a synonym for wild, describing
of wild,
Tawara, describing appropriately enough things that cannot be tamed. But over time, the wildness associated with indomitable developed into a specific kind of invulnerable strength.
If you give me it, one time you could start Jeremiah 4:7. Yahushai is likened unto an animal that has some indomitable traits. Well,
it's Jeremiah 4:7. The lion is come up from his thicket, and the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way.
Right.
He's gone forth from his place to make thy land desolate, and thy cities shall be laid waste without an inhabitant.
And who is that, or who is it responsible for that lion? Revelation 5, that lion is Yahushua, the lion of the tribe of Judah.
Okay,
yeah, go ahead.
Revelation 5:5. And one of the elders said unto me, Weep not. Behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, had prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Right, so we know this lion, this indomitable force, is Yahushua, right? And there are some visions of chaos that are set to take place on earth by an unstoppable force. If you give me Habakkuk chapter 3, we could read from verse 1, right? Habakkuk sees this vision of chaos already.
Yeah, Habakkuk 3:1. A prayer of Habakkuk the prophet unto Shigionoth.
Right,
Shigionoth, the order. O Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I have heard thy speech and was afraid. O Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years make known In wrath, remember mercy.
And he had heard the speech, he had heard the prophets prophesying, and what? He heard the visions of some scary ass shit. Well,
Verse 3 power came from Timon, and the Holy One from Mount Paran, Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise.
well,
And his brightness was as the light. He had horns coming out of his hand, and there
laser
was
beams,
the hiding of his power.
right? The laser beams from the chariots. Go ahead, because this is describing an invasion of chariots that shall be led by Yahushai. Revelation 19, and the armies which were in heaven followed upon him,
With white horses.
followed him upon white horses, right? White and clean. Go ahead.
Before him went the pestilence, and burning coals went forth at his feet. And we know that pestilence referring to the nuclear missiles.
Right.
He stood and measured the earth. He beheld and drove asunder the nations, and the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting.
Go ahead.
I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was Yahweh Bashem Yoshai displeased against the rivers? Was thine anger against the rivers?
What has you so pissed off?
Was thy wrath against the sea, that thou didst ride upon thine horses and thy chariots of salvation?
That you had to come with pure power to destroy the earth. Now, of course, we're not telling you destroying the whole earth, obviously, but again, as Zechariah 5 says, this is the curse that goes through the earth.
Over the face of the earth.
Over the face of the earth, and we're going to get that later. If you could give me Matthew 24, verse 30.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse 30. And it reads, And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
Power and great glory. And it's going to cause what? All the tribes of the earth to mourn. The power he has is all power. If you give me Matthew 28, 18.
All power is given unto me.
All power is given unto me. So if he's coming with any kind of power, it's coming in the might of what? Of almighty power. Right? He has all power. Go ahead.
Yeah, Matthew 28 and 18. I wish I came and speak unto them, saying, All power is given unto me in heaven and in earth.
And this makes him indomitable, right? Now, again, indomitable, they get two definitions or two meanings to it. One, you cannot be stopped, and two, you cannot be discouraged. And what? Yahushai cannot be discouraged from the mission and task which he was given to do. When you're done there, we could get it. Nah, no E.
No E.
Ooh, that's a bad one. That is a bad one. Go ahead.
Hey, judgment. Say, you mean judgment. Hey, John 5. John 5 and 26. God, this one I get who's the one who gave him this power to do all of this. It's John 5 and 26. For as the Father had life in himself, so had he given to the Son to have life in himself, and had given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man.
Ooh. And what's your father to bring your child back to your father is because what? The Yahushai cannot be discouraged because the orders in which he's going to be moving off of is given to him of and by the Father.
And the scripture says what he don't do his own will, he do the will of the Father that sent him.
If you give me John 4:34.
The book of John chapter 4 verse 34. Yahushua said unto them, My meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work.
And the work is not finished yet until what? Until he comes and brings chaos to the face of the earth. Again, we constantly see in the Old Testament, you see the word Lord being in all caps being used there, which is supposed to be for the Father's name. Right? But the things which ensue after you see that Lord, and the things that are written after you see that Lord, it couldn't possibly be Yahweh doing these things. What? But it must be that is Yahweh shall come in the name of his Father. And we know he is able to do this. I believe it's Numbers 20. Obey his voice, for my name is in him.
I read Exodus 23.
Exodus chapter 23 to what?
23, Exodus 19. I think Exodus 23, 20. If I'm not mistaken.
Beware of him.
Yeah, Exodus 20 and 20, behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice.
Right.
Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions. For my name is in him, my authority, my rank is in him.
And because he has that name, right, he is able to bear the name of the Father in the earth and execute judgment as though he is Yahweh in the earth. He cannot be discouraged. If you give me Luke 2:49 real quick, just to show you the mindset that he has, he will not relent. Again, scriptures make mention of Yahweh is not a man that he should lie, nor the Son of Man that he should repent. Had he said it and it not be done? Go ahead.
I read from 48. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I have sought thee sorrowing. And he said unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business?
Exactly, because he cannot be discouraged. He's only here to do the will of the Father, and the Father can't be discouraged. If you give me Isaiah 59 from verse 13.
Isaiah 59, it's really coming out these days, man. Isaiah 59 and 13, and transgressing and lying against Yahweh, and departing away from our power, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yet truth faileth.
And this is the state of the world that we currently find ourselves in, right? We know that the whole world lieth in wickedness. I believe like 1 John 5:19. Also Psalms 12 and verse 8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest of men are exalted. This is the state we find ourselves in. It is 2nd Ezra chapter, I believe it's 15 verse 6, for wickedness had exceedingly polluted the earth, right? And their hurtful works are fulfilled. Go ahead.
Verse 15, yeah, truth faileth, and he had departed from evil, maketh himself a prey. And Yahweh saw it, and displeased him that there was no judgment.
So it pissed him off. So what did he do?
And he saw that there was no man, and wondered that there was no intercessor. Therefore his arm brought salvation unto him, and his righteousness it sustained him.
Right.
For he put on righteousness as a breastplate, and helmet of salvation upon his head. And he put upon the garments of vengeance for clothing, and was clad with zeal as a cloak. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense his enemies. To the islands he will repay recompense.
And how is he going to do this? Again, if you give me Acts 17 verses 30 to 31. Because again, Yahweh is pissed off with the state of the world that he's found it in. Genesis 6, it had repented the Most High that he had made man upon the face of the earth. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And that the same as in with the days, as with the days of Noah, so also shall it be at the coming of the Son of Man. Same things that have parallels with the days Noah was living in comparison to the days that we currently live in. And the Lord was pissed off with what he was seeing under the sun, as was pertained to the sons of power and what they were doing in the earth, and it's the same thing that is happening today. Go ahead.
Acts 17 and 30, and the times of this ignorance power winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent,
Right.
because he had appointed a day in the which he will judge the world in righteousness by that man whom he had ordained.
By that man, a specific man. I'm going to go to Ezekiel 9:11 and show you who that man is. Go ahead.
Wherefore he had given assurance unto all men, and that he had raised him from the dead.
Exactly, raised him from the dead. So we know this is speaking of Yahweh Shai, and we see the mindset Yahweh Shai has. He cannot be turned away or discouraged from doing that which the Father has ordained him to do. If you give me Zechariah 5:1, because again, we just read our list of sins in the Isaiah 59, right? But what is going to happen to men who sin? According to Zechariah 5 from verse 1 at the return of Yahweh Shai.
Zechariah 5:1, then turned I. So then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll.
Yeah.
And he said unto me, What seest thou? I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10
But
cubits.
this is speaking of a chariot.
Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
And what is this curse here for to do? Go ahead.
For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it.
Exactly what sinners, he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it, right? Yahushua is tasked with doing this, and he will not disappoint. This is the mindset that he carries. If you give me Ezekiel
But I
9,
will
11,
read that verse 4.
first 4, you go ahead, Salah.
Verse 4, I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh Shem shall have hosts, and shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timbers thereof, and the stones thereof.
If you give me, is it, right, Ezekiel 9, last verse.
Ezekiel 9 and verse 11. And behold, a man clothed with linen, which had the ink on by his side, reported the matter, saying, I have done as thou hast commanded me.
And who is the man that we know would be able to say that? Now he said clothing linen, read Revelation 19, we know the speaking of Yahushua. You have an ink on, which is a writing kit. Does Yahushua not have a book of life? The Lamb's book of life. This is speaking of Yahushua. But what he said, I have done as thou hast commanded me. Give me Psalms 40, verses 7 to 8.
In Psalms 40, verse 7, Then said I, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. I delight to do thy will, O my power, Yahweh. Yea, my law, it is within my heart.
That is the whole point. We know this has to be speaking of Yahushua. There's only one man could make that statement. But I guess a plethora of men, yes, but we know this specifically speaking of Yahushua, right? So we understand there's a chaotic vision caused by an unstoppable force, and firstly we see it have a man out here who is determined to do that which the Father has given him the instruction to do. He cannot be discouraged. Well, on top of the fact that he cannot be discouraged, he can't be stopped either. He cannot be defeated. If you give it Salakia, if you give it Revelation chapter 19, we can go from verse 11.
Revelation 19 and 11. And I saw heaven open, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and righteousness he will judge and make war.
Right, Yahushua.
His eyes was a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns, and he had a name written that no man knew but he himself.
Right.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. His name.
Isaiah 63. I have trodden the winepress of the fierceness of the. Oh, sorry, that is Revelation 19:15. Isaiah 63. I will trample them in my fury, right? And of the people there was none with me. So what he killed everybody. Yeah, go ahead.
And he was clothed.
I will also stain on my raiment. Their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, right? Yeah, go ahead.
And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. His name is called the Word of Power. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. Out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. And he shall tread the winepress of the fierceness and the wrath of the Almighty power. And he had in his vesture and in his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And so an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, Come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great power, and that he may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great.
And you took the mark of the beast.
I saw the beasts and the kings of the earth and their armies gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. And the beast was taken, so it proved that he didn't lose, that he couldn't be defeated. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake of fire, burning with brimstone.
So what missiles destroyed them, and then verse 21.
And the remnant was slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, so the chariots.
And who the lake of fire didn't catch, he caught, right?
with sword proceeded out of his mouth,
his command,
and all the fowls were filled with their flesh.
were filled with their flesh. Now, why is it that he cannot be defeated? Because he's coming here with an unstoppable army, as we just saw in the Revelation 19, what? And the armies which were in heaven followed upon him with white horses. If you
And the
look
next
in
reason he can be
like,
defeated too is this: it was written.
it was written.
And where I wish I get that is Revelation. I think it's 22 and 3. No. It's 21. Right now, Revelation 21 and 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful.
Right? So you could believe in these words that they're going to come to pass. Why? Because it came out of the mouth of the Most High, which is our point we're going to get into this discussing the last point of the video, which is the fact that Yahweh himself as well cannot be stopped or discouraged, which is what gives Yahushai all the confidence he needs to go, right? If we give Revelation 12 from verse 7, because again what we just read in that Revelation 19 was an account of the war in heaven, which has not happened as yet. Right? It has not happened as yet, but it is going to happen. Go ahead.
And it's not going to take place in the third heaven, it's going to mean the first heavens, because scripture said, that point is of bounds that he cannot pass.
Exactly.
Them bounds would be what people would call the Van Allen's belt, but we know it's really just the barrier, the firmament of the barrier which the Lord placed around the earth, so I can't go past that.
Yeah, so space travel is a pipe dream for him.
The Lord and give you them kind of that level of power.
Right.
There is Revelation 12 and 7, and there was a war in heaven.
So
Michael and his angels fought against a dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels.
Right, so again you see the army of the Lord being set up here. Michael and his angels, again the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses. So Yahushua is not coming here to destroy and defeat these people by himself. Though he can, he still isn't coming by himself.
Everything I did in distance.
Right, go ahead.
And the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not.
And they were losing, they was getting their ass kicked.
Right? And that was their place found anymore in heaven.
So they were cast out of heaven, as Yahushua said, and I beheld Satan as a lightning bolt fall from heaven. Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, and there was a serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Verse 10, and a loud voice saying in heaven, now comes salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, Yahweh, and the power of his anointed, Yahushai.
Right.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Right, go ahead.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
So what the enemies were defeated, right? Because the ones who they fought could not be defeated. If you give me Joel 2 and verse 11, Yahushua, Salakia. But I guess Yahushua as well, because they are online, but Yahweh himself is very sure of the army that he has. Very, very sure of them. Go ahead.
Joel 2 and 11, and the Lord Yahweh Hashem shall utter his voice before his army.
Command them.
For his camp is very great, for he is strong that executed his word.
Because the soldiers he have are known as mighty ones. The mighty ones, Isaiah 13.
For he is strong that executed his word, for the day of Yahweh Hashem is great and very terrible, and who can abide it? And our next part of the army too, as well as the nuclear missiles. Them.
Yeah, he had opened up his army. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's Jeremiah 50 and I think it's 20.
25
to other. There's Jeremiah 50 and 25 was Isaiah 54 and 16. Yahweh Hashem Shad opened his armory and had brought forth the weapons of his indignation.
Which is a part of his army. When you read Joel 2, it speaks of them as though they are literal soldiers, the missiles, right?
For this is the work of Yahweh Bash. Sorry, for this is the work of the ruler Yahweh Bashim Sheriff hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. We
In
get
the
the idea.
land of the Chaldeans, I go ahead.
Yeah, Isaiah 54 and 16. Behold, I've created the smith that blew the coals in the fire. I bring forth an instrument for his work.
Right.
I have created the waster to destroy. It
Right.
also have Revelation the 17th chapter as well for what? They have put in the hearts of the kings to fulfill his will. To
Right.
give their kingdom unto the beast, what until the words of his, sorry, till his words be fulfilled.
And where is the word to be fulfilled is to destroy this place. If you read Sirach 29 to the 1, which you not to read it, but what they shall be ready upon earth when need is, right? And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Yahushua is coming with an army who cannot be stopped nor defeated, thus making him indomitable. Again, remember, he is the captain of this army, Joshua chapter 5
and 14.
Exactly, right? So now, can we see, well, was he stopped? Because again, Revelation 12 said what, and their place was found no more in heaven. But even if I go to 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 11, which gives you the vision again of this war in heaven, right? A war that will happen in your skies, you will see it, right? Revelation 1 and 7, and all eyes shall see him, right? Even they that pierced him, right? This war which you're gonna see, Yahushua won. Ezra gave you the verdict. Go ahead.
Exactly. We from read for up.
No, you're not a read from the top on it.
Yeah, from the top, not the top on it. I will jump around. It's like I just 13 and read 3. And I beheld and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven.
Right, with the thousands of heaven, just as Enoch saw Jude 1, and
14.
Enoch prophesied. I saw the Lord coming with
10,000
of his saints.
It was Psalms, the 68th
chapter.
chapter. The Lord is with them as he was in Mount Sinai with 10,000s or thousands of saints, I believe.
This
Let me get that. I don't want to butcher it. So let me get that. Psalms 68, 17. Yeah, the chariots of power, 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place.
Ooh, because again, even with the weapons, right, that just make me think of this precept as well. I think it's this, Isaiah 13:5. Right, Isaiah 13:5. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven.
Exactly, even 4.
Verse 4, Isaiah 13:4, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, war, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together, which this is what Yahweh is going to do. He's going to gather them together, Zephaniah 3:8. Yahweh of hosts mustered the hosts of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because Yahushai is coming from one end of heaven, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. Revelation 14:9 to 10, Yahushua is going to witness the judgment and use of these missiles. Right, so that is also a part of the army as well. Go ahead.
Go back to the
2nd
Ezra 13. And I beheld and lo, that man, 2nd Ezra 13 and 3, and I beheld and lo, a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance and looked, all things trembled that was seen under him.
Right.
Jumping down now. Verse 6, and I beheld and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. So I carry 5, and after this I beheld and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the 4 winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain and flew up upon it.
And see again, because we know going past the barrier of the earth, the firmament, there's waters, right? Genesis 1, and separated the waters from the waters. So coming out of the sea is what parabolic talk for coming out of the sky. Right?
After this I beheld and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him was so afraid, and yet this fight.
Right.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, which is his commandment to the scripture say, Jeremiah 5:14, I will make my words in thy mouth fire.
Right. And commandment literally, literally is going to command the chariots to blast these people to smithereens. Yeah.
And out of his lips a flaming breath, out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Right.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. And when I saw this, I was afraid.
And that's the whole point there. Was he stopped? No, he wasn't. He won, thus making him indomitable.
I take it out for it. So yeah, there's second just 13. I read from 31, 30. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth, and one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the signs shall happen which I shewed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle, and that they have one against another.
Which
And
the war in heaven that you read about, Revelation 12, which is coined as the war in heaven, right, is ultimately the culmination of a continuing war, which he will meet upon his return, which is what World War III, right, God,
and
which the Bible also speaks about. God,
an innumerable and innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
Right.
But he shall stand on the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be shewed to all men, and prepared and builded like as thou sawest a hill graven without hands.
Yeah.
And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations which for their wicked life have fallen into the tempest.
So what? They get a ass wash or get a ass cut, as we Sunnis like to say. Go ahead.
In 38, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and their torments, wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law which is like unto me.
And that is the whole point right there. Yahushua, he wasn't stopped, thus making him indomitable. He cannot be stopped. He cannot be discouraged. No, you know, Malachi 3:6, which we could start with not 3:6. I believe it's 3 and 3. 3 and 6. Behold, I am Yahweh. If you could start with that,
because the point I wanted to add there with this, he's so sure he can't be stopped because it was so easy. He said he did it without labor.
Yes,
They have no chance.
Exactly.
They have no chance.
So he's not even trying, and it's going to be a complete
bloodbath.
And what ultimately we know, this as well is what's going to cause him to not be discouraged. I mean, if he ain't getting your ass cut during the fight, you're not gonna feel a stop. Wait till they were afraid, yet this fight, they were discouraged, and they didn't even have the will to stop, showing you eternal free will. If a man didn't want to fight and still went and fight, well, that's showing you that the Spirit of the Lord and He causing you to do that. And if the Spirit of the Lord causing a man who lost in the battle to not stop, what do you think it's gonna do to a man who win in the battle without even breaking a sweat? But Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, cannot be discouraged. If you give me Malachi 3:6.
The book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob, and not consumed.
But I'm not too sure I could say that. Well, I know for a fact I can't say that for the rest of the earth, though. The rest of the nations in the earth will be consumed by fire. We could promise you that. If you give me Isaiah chapter 14 from verse 24, showing you again the Most High, he don't get discouraged. He don't change his mind on nothing.
So, 14.
Right? Exactly that, as Isaiah 55 says. The word that shall go or issue forth from his mouth shall prosper whereto I sent it. It's not going to come back unto him void.
It shall accomplish that which it
Read it
no,
real quick.
Remember that's Isaiah 45.
55.
55.
From 8.
Yeah, 55 from it all. Isaiah 55 and 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways my ways.
Exactly. Being discouraged is something from man, but that is not something for the Most High.
Jumping on to verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but shall accomplish that which I please, and shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
And what does the Most High please? What does the Most High want to do? Isaiah 14, Babu Kasha, from verse 24, if you could read that.
Isaiah 14 and 24. Yahweh Shemeshach hosts had sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass.
Exactly.
And as I have purposed, so shall it stand.
Good.
That I will break that Syrian in my land, and upon my mountain tread him under foot.
Which spiritually we know, speaking of Esau today, because they are the rats that dwell in the land. Right?
They represent only what the Babylonians.
Scriptures make mention of what O thou Assyrian rod of mine anger. Who is the rod of the Lord right now in the earth? Esau. He is the sword of the Lord. Go ahead.
Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden shall depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purpose upon the whole earth.
Right.
This is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations.
At the hand of Yahweh. Right, go ahead.
For Yahweh shall host a purpose, and who shall disannul it? His hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back?
And he himself is the only being in existence which has the power to turn back his hand from doing anything. And from the time he set his hand to do something, he never turns it back. Again, if you could just read it, we quoted it earlier, but just to bring it, Numbers 23:19. The Most High doesn't repent of shit. Most High knows exactly that which he wants to do. Right? He understands what is his final will and his final purpose for the earth, and he is going to make it come to pass. Go ahead.
In Numbers 23:19, power is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Had he said, and shall he not do it? Or had he spoken, and shall he not make it good?
That is the whole point. Right? In fact, go ahead.
Behold, I have received commandment to bless, and he had blessed, and I cannot reverse it.
So what a prophet wanted to curse the nation of Israel, at least the king, which is Balaam Balak. Right? Balak wanted this prophet Balaam to curse the nation of Israel, but what the Most High instructed Balaam, at what it is impossible for you to curse these people, because I do not want that to be done. If these people are going to be cursed, I will curse them, but that is not in your power to do. So what? He received that commandment, and he cannot reverse it. Why? Because it was the word of the Most High. Right? The Most High won't reverse his own words. He's the only one who has the power to do it, and he does not do that. If you give me 2 Ezra 16, like as an arrow, right?
The 2 Ezra 16, I think it's verse 7, verse 6, verse 5,
3.
verse 3. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back?
Right.
A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, Zechariah 14 and 12. And what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood? Or may anyone quench a fire of stubble when it had begun to burn? May one turn again the arrow that is shot of a strong archer? The mighty Lord, the ruler, send the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away?
Again, these plagues is not just the Zechariah 14:12 as we like to put in, but this is literal plagues as well, like pestilence and famine.
And disease and all
that come into the earth, and don't think it any cures for them neither. Go ahead.
The fire shall go forth, so that the mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? The fire goeth forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it?
Nobody. It have nobody who could stop it. Go ahead.
He shall cast lightnings, and who shall not fear?
Everybody gonna be afraid.
He shall thunder, and who shall not be afraid? Yahweh Bashem Yeshai shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea riseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fish thereof also before Yahweh Bashem Yeshai, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow.
Yahweh Shai.
His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss. When they begun to be shot at the ends of the world, being what Israel and America and anywhere else, they get blown to fuck up.
Right.
Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth.
Right.
The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till they consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer, returning not backward, even so are the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again.
So Yahweh cannot be discouraged, and I'm telling you, he cannot be stopped. We'll close with this precept, Jeremiah 51:11. He cannot be discouraged. He cannot be stopped. He is indomitable. Go ahead. He is indomitable. Go ahead.
Like Jeremiah 51:11, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh Bashem Yeshai raise up the spirit of the king of the Medes, for his devices against Babylon to destroy it.
Think Isaiah chapter 13, the raise of the spirit of the Medes. Again, the Russians going to come against his place, right?
Because it is the vengeance of Yahweh Bashem Yeshai, the vengeance of his temple, set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon.
New Babylon, Revelation 17:5, America.
Make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes. For Yahweh Bashem Yeshai had both devised
He had planned, go ahead,
and done that which he spake,
and executed his plan
against the inhabitants of Babylon.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is indomitable. He cannot be stopped or discouraged. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying and that you were edified. In closing, we like to say,
Kalala Lemla Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Recha Kodash.
Like to give double honors, double unto the apostles and others of great millstone who surely do you well. And as always, we like to say, Shalom. Repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.